Hey guys, Crystal here at Crystal's Crafties. All right, let's talk about this new trend that is really starting to take off on Etsy. It is the friendship bracelet design theme. You're gonna see these really start to pop up everywhere over this upcoming holiday season, the Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, quarter 4. It's gonna be going crazy. You can see they're already coming here. They've already got some bestsellers. They're in all different kinds of styles. We've got some retro, we've got some coquette, we've got the holidays, we've got some frames going on. So let's design these from scratch in Kittl. So here I've got those 3 different styles. One was the kind of flattened out, let's see, this one where they're kind of an oval and not a full-on circle. And then we've got the ones where they're just strips of the beads strung across. And then we've got the full circles. And you would want to add some extra embellishments to the design, not the friendship bracelet itself, but just to the design like this. They've got these little stars and stuff around it. This one's adding in the actual graphics for Independence Day. And just get creative and add a few little things, but I will show you in Kittl how to get the actual friendship bracelet designs started. So when you're opening Kittl, just come to your main page here, click New Project, and you can start from scratch. I will recreate all 3 of these designs with you so you can see how every step of it is done. If you don't have Kittl, there is a link in the video description. You can click that link and then use my promo code CrystalYT to get 25% off of your subscription. I really recommend doing that because it is so worth it to have this Kittl subscription. All right, I'm gonna scroll down and we are gonna start this from scratch. Okay, so I just have a blank area. I'm not going to create a new artboard. You can if you want to put just a new, whoops, let's get rid of that guy. If you want to just create a workspace, you can hit this artboard button and draw yourself an artboard. But I'm just going to design on the open page. So let's come over here to our shape tools, open this up, and we're just going to come and grab a basic circle. There that is on the screen. I can close this out now. I'm going to shrink it down just a little bit, but I'm not going to try to make it to scale yet. The first thing I'm going to want to do is just get the first bead. These are going to be the ones that the letters are in. So let's change the color. And let's make it more of this like kind of off-white. Let's go with that one. Okay. And let's give it a border. So I can come down here. I can turn the border on. It's set to a weight of 5. That's actually going to work for me for right now. If I need to change it later once I get the full design, I can go back in there and change that without a problem. And then let's give it some shadow to make it look a little more realistic. Your default settings of your shadow are an offset 15, an angle -90, and a blur of 15. I actually think those are perfect for this design. You can play with it. You can move the angle around. You see how that shadow is moving around the circle. You can make it further away from the circle, and I'll show you how it moves around again. I'm just going to go with the default settings that it had in there for us. Okay, here's our first bead. Once you have the bead that you are happy with, you will use the Alt key, select your bead, hold the Alt key, and just drag it out to get several more beads. However many you need for the word you are creating. So we'll do the word trick to start this trick or treat bracelet that we've got going on here. Now this is going to be your preference. Do you want the beads overlapping? Do you want them just barely touching each other? It is up to you, whatever you want your beads to look like. I'm going to have mine just kind of barely touching. And again, this is the designing stage. Once you get all of your beads on there, you can figure out where you want everything to go. Let's get the letters in here. I'm going to type a T on the keyboard. It will pull up this little tiny text box. And let's go ahead and change this font. For this project, I used Dreamyland. I think it's perfect for this design. Scroll through there and find whatever you want for your font. I'm going to use the Dreamyland. Okay. I am going to delete the word headline and just type in a capital T. Okay. Now I can make that text box more adequate to the size I need it to be. Here is the T. I will do the same thing. I'm going to hold Alt and just drag that out so that everything is going to be the same font and the same size, and I'll just delete the T and get an R. Okay? Hold Alt, drag that out, delete the R, get an I, carry this on to get the rest of my letters. Okay, and now let's just kind of center up the circle and the letter. So I've selected these two objects. As soon as I select them, I'm going to have my alignment options. We will just center and center. Perfect. I will hit Control G to group those together. I'm going to do the same for the rest of these. Okay, so there's our word. I am going to shrink all of this down so we can start working on the other beads. I've selected it all and I'm shrinking it all together so that everything stays the same size. Okay, there are different styles of beads. I'm going to blow this up a little bit. You can have perfectly rounded beads, or you can have these that are a little more oval instead of perfectly rounded. Choice is up to you. Do whatever you want. I will come over here and kind of point out one of these best-selling items on Etsy is a kit, a PNG kit that you can use to make whatever designs you want. She just sells the PNGs of the beads, and she has both kinds. She has full-on circles and she has ovals, plus a square and a star and a little flower and just a few different things. So get different styles of beads, whatever you think is going to work for your project. I'm going to start with just a round bead. So again, shapes, pull in a circle, shrink it down. We can close that menu out now. And let's just go ahead and start a color theme here. Let's do orange. And again, we will put a little bit of a border around it. I think that's going to be too thick of a border for that smaller bead. Let me make that a 2. That's better. Again, I'm going to shrink all of these down a little bit more just so that you can see everything on my page here. Okay, now we'll shrink this bead down. And I'm going to duplicate this bead just over and over and over again. And we'll change the color of every other bead. So I'm going to select this one, hold shift and select this one. And instead of having them be orange, let's have them be a cream color. What did I do up there? Yeah, okay. And now we're going to start organizing our bracelet. So I'm going to take the T and the K, hold shift and select both of those and just kind of move them up a little bit. And the same thing with the R and the C, hold shift and just move both of those up a little bit to get a curve in the word trick. And I might need to scooch that bead over. Just using the arrow keys, I'll scooch this bead over. So they're kind of touching. Okay. And just start placing your other beads wherever you want them. That's too many. I'm gonna come over here. And you'll see you can get these little lines and they will start lining up your beads for you. But if you are not sure that they are lined up, you can select these two beads and you can tell them to align the bottoms, and then we'll select these two beads and align the bottoms. And I'm just going to duplicate this bead. I've selected it, holding Alt. I'm going to throw another one over here, and I'm going to select these two and align the bottoms so that all the beads are perfectly lined up. And let's see, we'll group these three beads together. Use your little more options. We'll put those to the back so that they fall behind the trick. Same thing here, group these three, put them to the back. There's the beginning of that bracelet. It's really, really that easy. You would form your other layers in the same way. And then I just came into Kittl and I got these really, really cute graphics, and I just started adding them in between my beads. So for that, again, just click your little shape thing here, and you're gonna get some illustrations, but you don't need to come searching through anything. I mean, you certainly can. There's tons and tons of stuff to search through, but just type in cute Halloween or whatever it is you're looking for, and you're gonna start getting the graphics. Gonna see if I can find some of the exact ones I used. I like that little cat. Oh, I like this one too. That's one I used. Oh, look, and that one's a free element. That's awesome. And then once you find one you like, you can come up here to the Kittl Copilot, and it will start showing you more of that same style. So it'll be easier to find other ones that are going to match your design coming through here. Let me grab just a couple more to finish out this bracelet. Let's do this guy. I actually used that one in the design. So you'll just shrink these down and place them within your design. You can cover up a bead, you can place them between the beads, you can use them as beads, whatever you want. Just start putting them in wherever you want them to be. Let me close this screen out over here. You can see where I put them in. I used them kind of as beads and just kept my color scheme every other bead and then adding in the little elements. Okay, that's going to be the string bead friendship bracelet. Let's do this circular bead friendship bracelet. Let me come in here. I'm going to select all of the orange beads. I'm going to change their color to red. Okay, we've already started a Christmas thing here. Let's change this to Mary. And whoopsie, I didn't mean to delete it. And okay. I'm going to drag this down here where we can kind of see it closer to our design. Okay, so for this one, I put little clip arts in between the main beads. So let's get that going. Let's come over here and we'll do cute Christmas. So cute. Let me see. Let's do stocking. And they even have, these are called masks. It works just like a Canva frame. You fill it with an image or a pattern. So that's an option here in Kittl as well. But just come and pick yourself a cute Christmas stocking. Actually, I'm just going to use this wreath because I thought it was cute and it wasn't already in one of the designs I had. So let's put it in one. And let's grab this reindeer. And let's grab this snowman. I think I did actually use that exact snowman. Okay, so we're just going to use these to make our design now. Let me close this out. And now we want a full circle. So what I would suggest you do is come over here and get a circle. I'm going to close that out because I don't want the elements anymore. I want a shape. Going to make our page a little bit smaller so that we can see what we're doing really well. Kind of move this stuff off out of the way. Okay, here's this circle. I'm going to move it to the back so I can see my beads on top of it. I'm going to change the color so it's it really kind of sticks out from the design. Let's make it like this pink. That'll be good. Okay, now we can get a little bit larger. And what you want to do is just move your beads around the circle. And you can rotate these so that the letters appear to be more natural. They wouldn't be just straight up and down if you were actually making a friendship bracelet. And I'm going to speed the video up, but I will continue just to pull these around the circle. And there is my first bracelet. I'm going to duplicate this whole bracelet and start adding these clip arts in between. I'm going to group all of this together, Control G. Okay, now if I click it, it's all one thing. I'm going to hold Alt and duplicate the whole thing. Chunk that off to the side. Increase my screen size again. Let's change the colors of these beads. Instead of red and white, let's do two different colors of green. So I'm going to select all the reds here, holding Shift and just clicking on each red. And let's turn them kind of maybe this color green. And then we'll come into the whites. And I'm double clicking. If you click it once, the whole thing selects because it's grouped together. Double click into whatever you want and then you can select each individual thing. We get all these little white beads and we're going to make them a darker shade of green. Let's go with that. All right. Okay. And I'm going to ungroup this whole thing since we're going to work with it. So I'm going to right click, ungroup. I'm going to get rid of a couple beads so I have room to add in the little clip arts. I'm going to make this one say ho ho ho. Let's bring in maybe just 2 wreaths for this one. I think that'll actually be good. And I'm going to move that to the front so it's on top of both sets of beads. I'm just going to select it, hold Alt, bring it over here, and let's rotate a little and rotate a little. Okay, now if you want to take this a step further, you can edit because these wreaths are vector graphics. When you click onto it, you've got the colors. You can edit the green to match the green in your design, which was that. It's not really much of a difference, so I'm not going to worry about it. But then I would just group all of this together. Let's see, let's move this bracelet to the top. So right click, move to front. Now it's on top of the ho 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 bracelet. And you can make one more, it says Christmas, in the same style that you've done these two in. And now you have the completely rounded bracelet style. You have the string of beads style. Let's do these that are a little more ovalish with the oval beads. Okay, we ended up not not using any of this. I'm just going to delete all this to get it out of the way now that you've seen how to do it. So for the round one, we worked around a circle. For the oval one, we are going to work around an oval. Just take your circle, squish it into an oval, and you can build your beads around it. The same thing with your beads. Come and grab a circle, turn it more into an oval, shrink it down. Let me pull this design down so we have something to work off of. Let's increase our size a little bit. That's a little bit too much. Let's put it at 20. Okay. So here's our oval that we're going to shape the beads around. Here's our oval bead. Let's rotate it up this way. Okay. And you're just going to start working that around your oval here. That's still probably really big. Okay, so we now have the beads completely around the oval. Let's delete some of these because we need room for our letters. I'm going to rotate that. Okay, let's work on some different colors. Let's do okay, so we've got the red, white, blue. I'm going to get these guys here, hold Alt, bring that out, so we don't have to make that circle again. And we're just going to duplicate that with a bunch of Alt, holding Alt and dragging out to the side to get all these other beads here to connect it. There's enough beads to spell freedom, so let's do that. Type the T, change our font to the Dreamyland, F, rotate it out, and there you go. Again, take your time to make sure all of that fits well and looks really good. Go get yourself some elements, change up your colors, but that is how you're going to do each one of these styles. Let me move that up a little bit. Let's group all this together. Control G. Okay, so yep, you'll use an oval from your shape tool over here to get the oval ones that are stacked on top of each other. You will use a circle from your shape tool over here to get the round ones. These you'll just kind of build yourself, but if you are feeling stuck on if you think it's a good line of beads or not, you can come in here, grab yourself an oval, and line your beads up along your oval just to make sure that everything is staying even and that it's going to look good when you're all done. All right, guys, that's all I've got for you. We'll see you next time.